This is The Art of Subtext by Charles Baxter. We're going to talk about 5 things in this book that are going to help you improve your own writing and poetry. Now, this is actually a book that honestly is not written for poetry, but we're going to apply some of the concepts to it because it's really good. For those of you who do fiction or are interested in screenwriting and things like that, it's basically trying to talk about how can we complicate the relationships, add some tensions between the characters. What are some of the techniques for doing that? What are the things we want to consider? And so we're going to be applying these concepts to poetry, which is great. The very first thing that I want to talk about is that Charles Baxter mentions that anyone described with such precision must be a singularity. What does that mean? Any ideas? How do you guys interpret that?
If you can describe someone with a particular word or in a particular manner, then you're inferring that you can't describe other people in that same manner.
So describing people with a particular word, a particular manner, okay. Do you think that's advantageous or not an advantage in writing? If I'm able to describe someone in a particular way?
I feel like it's a good thing, kind of.
Why?
Because what I'm thinking is it makes them seem unique, I guess.
Makes them stand out, makes them more unique.
Right. So what is so different about this person that's so precise versus the whole? Because you can write the same type of person over and over again, but sometimes this is the one that you resonate with the most, I guess.
I feel like it depends on what the author's intent is for the audience, because if you describe somebody too much, then you're taking away the audience's opportunity to develop their own ideas. But if you want everybody to, if this is the person that you want people to picture, then you would want to be as specific as possible to eliminate, people having their own interpretation. So it could be either.
Has anyone here written about your mom before, or a person in your family before? Yes. Mom, brother? Okay. In your piece, could we tell that it was your mom and not just a mom?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
if you know my mom.
Okay, if you know. Fair.
That's what I like with precision. It's so detailed and so uniquely, if it's precise, it's hitting all the small details. So if you're writing about a family member, you would be able to describe them or someone you've lived with in ways that are more precise. I'm not sure about the singularity part though.
So for instance, I think something that I see a lot with poems written about family members is sometimes we say the word mom and we kind of just leave it there. We're like, mom. Everyone has a mom, no matter what your relationship is with that mom. So we all have our own connections with her, right? But that's, from a reader's perspective, it's almost meaningless, right? Because, my relationship with my mom is different than your relationship with yours. So trying to think about how are you making your characters more unique. Leland, you mentioned that people can immediately tell that in your poem with your mom, people can tell it's your mom. What are some of the ways that becomes evident?
Because they shared it with my aunt, who grew up with my dad's little sister.
I'm gonna stop you. In the writing, in the poem itself.
I didn't put mom nothing. I said you love to ask what if. I didn't put a name. I didn't put a person.
So it sounds so. You mentioned the habit that the mom had in terms of the sorts of questions that the mom asks.
Yes.
Okay.
I mentioned a habit that she
Okay.
to do.
Any other techniques? If I want to individualize my mom, what are some things I can be thinking about?
Physical attributes, especially if she has any unique scars or moles or, something that stands out that's the only person that a lot of people know that have that attribute.
Okay, so unique physical characteristics. Other things?
The way that they raised you.
I'm sorry?
The way that they raised you.
Oh, tell me more about that.
So you could talk about certain stories that...
Well, like what?
I guess if it was a bedtime story, or if they told... how a lot of people... Not a lot of people, but people who have... Their parents grew up in a different country. So a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, my mom or dad would say how far it took them to go to school or whatever. So when they talk about that, it's different because you're like, okay, well, their parents or my parent grew up in a different country. Not everybody's parents are like that. So like my mom will tell me how school was when she was growing up or how her parents were growing up. I don't know if that makes sense. But just the things that my mom has told me versus what another person's mom has told and or taught them. The things that they cooked.
Oh, what did she cook?
Good Spanish food.
Oh, like what?
Rice and beans. Soup.
Rice and beans soup?
Pork shoulder on holidays. Not everybody's parents does that. Well, my mom's like not Halloween. Oh my God. Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's what she was raised doing. I didn't really grow up eating a turkey for Thanksgiving. So.
It's like pork shoulder on Thanksgiving. It's a nice little detail there. There's a poem in there. If you want it. You guys have a picture. What's in the picture?
Children.
Okay. Let's think to our central topic right now. What we've just been talking about. Anyone described with such precision must be a singularity. What I'd like you to do in your notebooks, or wherever you do your writing, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. I want you to describe one child. Does anyone want to share their description?
Sure, I'll go. I put swinging from a branch, sticking out a leg while having a big smile on his face.
Can you guys identify which child that is?
The kid on the tree.
Thank you. Okay. Someone else want to share?
I can.
Sure.
Climbing, reaching for the top, going to take the flag. One foot on a rope ladder rung, the other waiting to move, scrambling to beat her playmate and prove that girls are climbers too.
Oh. Got some projection going on too. Cool. All right, cool. I like motive. Okay. Thank you, Leslie. Does anyone have a question about this concept? Specifying about the quote, focusing on precision.
Oh, I thought we were supposed to. So I feel like I did it wrong. So I thought we were supposed to give like a little not like how you felt about the child, but what's going through that child's mind or like what they're doing exactly.
Okay.
So
For one child or for all?
No,
Such
for
a hive
one of
mind.
them. No, for one of them. But then I realized that the one that I chose, I think like he's kind of like in multiple.
I realized
Yeah.
that too.
So I was like, I still stand on what I said. So,
If you're willing to share, I'd like to hear it.
so I was talking about the one on the rock climber because we weren't very specific. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe I did it wrong. And I said he made the proposition that the last one up there is a rotten egg. He knows the child at the bottom is a bit unfit and won't make it up there anyway. He claims to be the king of the playground. And then when I see him in the other ones, he's always laughing. When he looked like he's laughing at other people. And he's always at the top. So I'm like,
You want to talk about that? Okay. Could you guys tell which kid that was? Okay. I think you're on assignment.